So if you've seen any of my videos, you know I talk about the real estate market a lot. I know not everybody cares about it, but it's my job, it's my duty to explain what's going on specifically in the South Sound of Washington, specifically Thurston County. So this is going to be an update for you all, what's happened in the last 30 days, where we see things going, and actually comparing it to last year. I'm Aaron Thomas with the Aaron Thomas Home Team. I help people make wise decisions when it comes to buying, selling, and investing. Stick around. All right, so let's talk about how many homes are active. And what that means is we could jump in the car and we could go look at the house, and you could buy it if you wanted to. And so this month there are 235 active homes when we check the numbers on the first of the month. So what's crazy is last month on the first of the month there were also 235 homes. So they're not the same houses because some of them actually went under contract. And so what it's telling us is there aren't a lot more becoming available. The number is staying the same, and that number is extremely low. So last year at this time, there was actually 557 homes available, which is a 60% drop. So what happened is when COVID-19 hit our market, about half the people, about 40% of the people actually, that were planning to sell their homes just decided not to for whatever reason. And so we have a lot of people kind of fighting over the same properties, and more or less in a nutshell, that's what occurred. All right, so the next stat. Total number of pending homes in the last 30 days, 594. So the previous month it was 708. And so it's a little bit of a drop. However, the drop is a little misleading. There's still a lot of homes going pending, and what pending means is just two people agreed on a contract price and the home has not closed escrow yet. And so there's a little thing kicking in called seasonality. And what that means is that certain times of the year in real estate, more homes sell every single year. It's totally normal. So we can probably agree that more homes sell in the spring than in December. And so seasonality has kicked in, still a lot of sales occurring. And if we compare it to last year, there was 511. So what it means is that there are more homes selling this year, which we know, and there's a little bit less that have sold in the last 30 days than sold the previous 30 days. And it's simply seasonality. It just means there's a lot more activity going on with actually people going under contract in August versus in September. All right, so the total number of homes sold, closed escrow, done, keys are probably exchanged. That is where the rubber meets the road. And it's crazy to see what's unfolded because the number is exactly the same. It's really, really close. So check this out. In the month of August, there was 521 in Thurston County. In the month of September, there was 533. So almost the same number, and last year there was 516. So our market has been crazy consistent with the amount of homes that are actually selling and exchanging hands. Really consistent. I was surprised when I looked this up. I didn't think it would be nearly identical. Pretty crazy. All right, so let's talk about inventory. We talked about the 235 that were available. And this is for residential, by the way. So we're not talking about buildings or anything like that. Nothing crazy. The months of inventory. So I've talked about this in the past. The month of inventory is a little bit confusing, but it's a measure of the amount of homes that are available and how quickly they're being sold. And so this number is actually still on a downward trend, which means there's not a lot out there that we can help people see and buy, unfortunately. And the number actually got a little tighter in the last month. So it went from about a half a month and a normal supply when it is equal between the buyer and the seller market. It's actually about 5 months. And right now it's not, and I've said 4, 3, or 2, or not even 1 month. Last month it was 1/2 of 1 month. It was 2 weeks. And right now it's 0.4. So I know it's confusing, but the only thing you need to remember is that the supply is at an all-time low. All right, so people are typically confused about the average days that it takes a home to sell because they'll see a sign in the front yard. And a lot of the times, if they're like me, they're gonna leave that sign out until the new owner is basically in the house. It's a little bit bad luck to remove that sign. And so the reality is the homes are selling quickly, and if a home is priced right, last month, so the statistics for August versus all of September remained exactly the same. Priced correctly, the home's gonna sell in about 6 days, okay? So you do have some homes out there that aren't priced correctly that do have extenuating circumstances, and you'll see us sign up for a long time. And the overall average of all of those did decrease as well. So in the month previous, it was 23 days, and this past month it decreased to 21 days. So about 3 weeks on average if something falls outside of that window of being priced correctly, in good condition, and all those things. Reality, market's still very, very fast. So if you do own a home in the county, you probably want to know, how much more did I make? How did it go up? Did it go down? We kind of know it's going up, right? And the difference between the month of August and this past 30 days is about a $6,000 increase on the average sales price. So the average sales price went from $429,808 to $435,958. So we got an increase of about $6,150. And last year at this time, so we're talking about the month of September in 2019, the average price was $372,765. Okay, so that means the average homeowner in Thurston County gained $63,193 in value relative to about a 15% increase, which these aren't normal numbers. They say that the normal appreciation average is generally around 4%. And so right now we are more than tripling the pace of the houses gaining value. So everybody is doing really well if they own a home now. So I know not all these numbers probably made sense to you, and that's totally fine. The real estate market, unless you do it every day, is very confusing, but just know that I'm here to help. If there is something that you want to know about with your specific situation, please feel free to reach out to me. What I think is going to happen is I think that this train is going to continue. So if you're a seller, it is going to continue to be one of the best times to sell for a little bit. If you're a buyer, you're still going to be able to purchase a house. It's just going to be a little more challenging than it did, a year or two ago. But I can tell you I'm having conversations with people that wish they would have bought a home months ago, because now that same house costs so much more. So if you are a buyer, think about jumping into this market, especially during the winter. A lot of people kind of pack things up, and not as many people are shopping. Not a bad thing for a seller though. It's all kind of relative because less people list. So you can't really go wrong. Like I said, if you need some help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to support you.